So we ain't gonna act like Bam isn't second greatest scorer of all time. Bam,
Please.
Bam is top
I
five
don't remember
scorers of all time.
Is Wilt Bam than Kobe? Like really?
Unfortunately, that's what we have to deal with. But I'm sorry, I don't believe it.
Bam,
Somebody got beat before the end of the season.
Bam,
You can't beat
Bam is him. He is him.
Yeah, all right.
He is him.
Yeah, all right. What's him?
He is
What is
him.
him about it?
Him.
What is him about it? 40 free throws? That was him?
He's him.
No, 40 free throws is him?
He got Asia. Him.
Oh, okay, well, him and Asia, I ain't got no problem with that. I love that. I love that.
You don't hate on Black Love, right?
I love him and Asia. No,
him and her.
Yeah. Well, if you talk about him because he got her, I agree with you.
That's
you talking
one
about
of them. That's one of them.
No, you talking about that 83 points? Screw that. Absolutely.
Yes,
I ain't mad at the 83, dog.
Listen, I'm not mad at it. I just like.
I'm not even mad at him, Pat. The Kobe thing. It's just.
I agree with what Robert Horry said.
You can't get that much without some fuckery going on. You can't.
What you mean?
If y'all Google, Wilt did the same thing. His team fouled. The coach of the opposing team called the game a farce. That's how bad it was. They kept fouling to give Wilt extra possession. The same thing happened. That's the only way you get that high. They'll tell you anybody that's at the game.
I see that.
You Google it.
I read
Google it. Do research. They said it. They said they did the same thing for Wilt versus the Knicks. The same thing.
That's for my era.
For y'all to be mad at Bam, then y'all got to take Wilt away because they did the same thing for Wilt.
I ain't got to take Wilt away because I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it for my era.
Who cares?
I seen this. I seen this.
So it didn't happen. So we can't count it because it didn't happen.
No.
You ain't see it. It didn't happen.
I didn't see it, so I can't nor deny, confirm or deny that.
But you listen to people that tell you he got 100. But you won't listen to dead. No, they still alive. But you won't listen to quotes from the game of people saying what happened.
Give me a significant quote from that. That's the significant first.
The coach called it a farce.
He's still alive?
I'm about to name you the coach right now.
Name me the coach.
I don't think he's still alive.
Excuse me for a second while he do this look at. Name me the daggone coach.
All right. So the coach is Frank McGuire. He was the Warriors coach. He instructed his players to immediately foul the Knicks on their inbounds, which slowed the game and gave the ball back to the Warriors to create more scoring chances for Wilt. You know what I'm saying? Like the most points ever.
Then Kobe got it. I don't care what nobody says.
Because Kobe needed the buckets.
Right. The team was losing. He needed no buckets to win. There was no fouling him to try to get him to the points. None of that. No. So Kobe got the record there. I don't care what nobody says. If that is true about Wilt, and I just watched them do that for Bam, both of them records is farce.
But that's my problem though. That's not like why social media made it harder or easier to evaluate players or evaluate the game of basketball. What do y'all stand with that?
It's kind of both. It kind of teeters on the line of both because you get information like that where it makes everything a little bit more contextual to where now you understand certain situations. But then you get other situations where people are so critical of somebody they don't even give them there's no wiggle room.
They only give you one side.
Yeah, right.
They don't go deep.
Right. You don't get
the research.
Room, right? You can't make a mistake.
But sometimes you can because there's always going to be something to find. It's kind of like what they say, your girl go through your phone, she going to find something, right?
Yeah, but you can be fair.
You can find something.
Yeah, but you can be fair.
But they're
not. Sometimes they're not fair in their assessment of the situation.
I don't think it's rare to find fair in anything, you know.
But not fair. Balance.
Balance.
Yeah.
Balance. I say balance. Not fair. Balance.
Balance.
A lot of times people go too far one way, too far because either they don't like the player or they have dislike of the player, or this they favorite
personal
player.
feelings are involved.
So they go this way. Yeah,
it's nostalgia, bro. Like I'm
including the whole, LeBron and Jordan. You know what I mean? It's personal. People put their personal feelings into it.
But that's why. So this is how I feel about it. I agree with you. It's both. It could be a gift and a curse, right? But it's a perfect way to combat nostalgia, right? Because I feel like a lot of times we in an era where people from the older eras, because the game is so different than it is now, you're going to have people that like it better than it was then, whether it's the 90s, the 80s, 2000s. There's a different game than it is now right now.
Absolutely.
So you could have 5 different eras saying their era is better.
Okay.
But some people, because of those eras, though, a lot of narratives were created that kind of wasn't really as accurate as they made it seem. So you have certain people who now you have these guys out, these pundits or former players, whatever, saying Jordan right now will average a 50-point triple-double. Mad exaggeration.
Yeah,
right?
that's
no
ridiculous.
way that would happen.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
First of all, because they're not doing that now.
Yeah, and now also that you have to shoot a ton of threes to do that. James Harden had the craziest season ever for his threes and all that. Yeah, and he averaged 37.
Yeah, nobody.
You know how hard it'll be to get a 50-point triple-double?
He's not getting no 50-point triple-double. He might average 40, but not no 50.
What Jordan was.
Well, that's people just being over the top with stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and sometimes you just got to see the videos. Like, I even had a discussion with y'all. I feel like even though the era was more tougher, I guess you could be a little bit more physical. Everybody wasn't physical. You could pull up the games on YouTube.
But we said everybody was.
But that's not the way your era talk about the
Because
game. They talk about it as if like Jordan was on the floor every time he went to the basket, which wasn't true. It was against Detroit.
It was more enforcers.
Certain teams had them,
right.
not
more
everybody,
enforcers, right?
But they talk about it as if that was the
Every team they have enforcers,
right? But they talk about it as that's how the league was. Period.
Well,
that's not true.
Well, the league was actually I put it this way: from a nostalgia standpoint, the league was smaller. First of all, so it wasn't that many teams.
And it wasn't many good teams.
Right. So I'm saying, so it wasn't that many teams, and then when you go from that thing, then you take that with the amount of players that was on each team that was actually had decent players.
It wasn't that many.
It wasn't
the expansion kind of messed watered down the league a little bit.
It kind of did, but even before that, when you had in the '80s, it just wasn't that many teams.
Right. So then, four teams each division.
So right. So a lot of times you would see Detroit 5-6 times maybe during the season, Milwaukee 5-6 times during the season.
Mm-hmm.
You would see certain teams so much of the time the way they playing the same person. Where you see Jordan playing Detroit, every time playing Detroit, somebody physically trying to attack him. Play the Knicks, somebody physically trying to attack him because they was constantly playing those same teams. It wasn't just so much that he was doing it every freaking game, just the fact that they seen them teams so frequently, so many times. You see, that's what you was looking at. What you looking at with some
like when he played Cleveland, he wasn't getting smacked on the ground.
Right, they had no enforcers.
They had no enforcers.
That's what I'm saying.
They had no enforcers.
They didn't really have no.
Brad Daugherty wasn't really doing. Yeah, Larry Nance, no.
Nobody on the perimeter you had to really worry about. You know,
Craig Elo was supposedly some big
defensive player.
That's what they try to label him as. But yeah, you're right. No, what you call it was though. Harper used to give him fits.
True.
Ryan Harper.
But he wasn't there the whole time though.
For most of the time, not for that Cleveland run into up into that shot. Ryan Harper was there. Robert was there for the shot. Robert even said on the interview, he said,
"No, he wasn't."
Yes, he was. He said on the interview,
he might have been hurt.
No, he said because he said on the interview, if you go back to the documentary,
how long was he there for?
Who? Ryan Harper?
Yeah,
about 4 or 5 years. But he was there for the shot. He was there for Jordan making the shot because Harper said on the documentary.
What shot you talking about?
The shot.
He's talking about the shot. Remember, he did it twice. Huh? He did it twice.
The big one, the one everybody showed. They called it the shot.
He did it twice.
I know.
Which one you talking about?
Huh?
Which one you talking about?
The one over Craig Elo.
The one over Craig Elo.
Okay.
The shot. But Harper was there. Harper was there. Harper said that I told the coach I should have been the one guarding Mike, and the coach put Craig Elo on him. He said, "All right, well, guys, watch what happens." And then Mike hit the shot. Harper said it on the freaking interview. Harper was there for that. They just didn't put Harper on it for some odd reason.
Before or after injury?
Huh?
Was that before or after injury?
Before the injury, because he got injured the next following season. So it was before the injury. He was able to guard him. He said Harper was one of the dudes who used to give him fits.
Even Philly though, Philly didn't have no big enforcer back then.
No, we didn't get enforcer until Barkley.
That's what I'm saying. So like it was certain. You had the way the era talked about. It's talked about as if that was.
But we didn't get enforcers until Barkley and Rick Mahorn. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, with Rick Mahorn.
You know what I'm saying? And even in this era, right? Social media put context to all these inflated numbers that you see, right?
Yeah.
You start to think, all right, Luka averaged 32, 7, and 8. He got to be better than everybody that played outside of Jordan, and you know what I'm saying? Just because you're looking off of pure numbers, you know?
Right.
But then you get the context, you get a whole different picture.
But the negative though, and not my point of view is, I feel like NBA got the worst fans.
We do.
It is an 82 game schedule, but we give a hot take after every game.
I know.
Every game deserves a hot take. I literally seen everybody saying Cade Cunningham was an MVP favorite. He played Wemby. He went like 4 for 20, and they say, "Y'all dummies really thought he was MVP candidate. Y'all stupid. Y'all crazy. Y'all look. One bad game."
But that's the people who didn't like him. That was looking for a reason to pounce.
But it's unanimous on
they gotta keep the NBA interesting. NBA.
Well, that's why
interest.
Well, that's a conspiracy theory that people put out there about Bam's situation. That it was designed to get some attention to the NBA.
They wouldn't pick Bam to do it.
They would have picked Bam to do it.
Why would you pick Bam to do it?
Because he's somebody you don't expect to do it. It makes more of a significant impact that somebody you don't expect to do it than somebody you did. Because they feel like that. Because I'm saying the conspiracy theories feel like that the refs and everybody was all in it. That's why
Luka doing it will bring in more.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm saying I'm telling you, I'm just saying the conspiracy they feel like the refs was all in it because of how many fouls he got.
But he actually got fouled. They brought it down. They broke it down. Everything was a foul step too. Everything was a foul, so it was all legit. So I mean, if he was getting them Shea Gildress fouls, then I would say yeah.
Are you trying to say Shea up there in that echelon now?
He got the number. He got the rep. He got the rep where now like they feel like he missed. He had to get fouled.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So he's
even
if he's not fouled,
so he's up there in the echelon. He got the way Jordan.
Harden was trying to actively, you know what I'm saying, and Shea do it too. But Harden used to go to the basket, grab your hand, and then go up.
Right, go up.
I hated that crap. I hated that crap
all the time.
Social media, man. Listen, like I said, it's a gift and a curse. You got to take the good with the bad because, like I said,
it
gives you context to numbers. Because if you just see, like you just said with Luka, if you just see numbers, you're gonna think somebody was killing it. But then you might find out that the dude.
That's not a gift, though.
Yes, it is because why? Because it gives you a false narrative. Without the social media aspect of it, it gives you a false narrative. If you just see numbers and you don't see context of what's going on or anything like that, or even just the critique of certain situations, because a lot of times, a lot of things that I think we miss from social media that does happen is sometimes you have the opportunity to hold people accountable for certain situations. To where if the media is not a high enough outcry, people don't feel like they need to be held accountable for something. They feel like, all right, I did it, whatever, screw you, whatever the case may be. But if you give enough media, social media outcry, and people are held accountable for the way they respond, or they make amends, or they try to fix something. So,
is it our job though to judge? Is it our job to judge other people or what people do?
If you represent something that I'm looking at,
it's not our job because we all make mistakes.
Yeah, if you represent something if you're representing something other than yourself, yes, it is. If you're representing if you just representing yourself. No, that's your business. That's your that's your personal situation.
So we talking about where y'all going with it? Because we talking about how the fans view the game.
Yeah.
We'll
get back to that. I was taking it somewhere else.
Y'all going somewhere else.
Yeah, I was about to take it somewhere else.
I'm talking about is it as far as social media, how the fans view the game? Because NBA is on social media. They dominate the socials.
Right.
So a lot of the commentary
game by game.
Right, and a lot of commentary you're getting is from people that's really watching the sport. It's not people that's just.
Right, so
whatever.
So they critique. That's what I'm saying. They critique of the sport
NBA
hold
is
accountable for how they play on the game. I don't see that too much as a bad thing. It gets a little out of hand. Yeah,
NBA is a day by day hot take.
But but also that's how you get those things that you don't like.
Right.
That's how you get Steph Curry being the best point guard all the time, being in the top 10.
I know.
That's how you get these conversations where some of these guys don't, where nobody talk about Hakeem because he's not popular on social media. Mm-hmm. This is how you get those combos where KD's top 10 all the time because of the way it's
social media.
It's a highlight culture.
It's a high take, right?
So KD's gonna give you highlights. It's videos of them. And there's more footage out there.
But you could do that. But the problem is, it's
now they saying Kawhi top 3 shooting guards small forwards all the time. But
that's contextual based off the people who are putting the information out there.
It's the fans. They all
right. So what I'm saying is the person doesn't have an. All right. Here's the thing that we have to hate because you talk about
and then
Keem.
The debate shows.
Right.
They take on it.
Yeah, but you talk about Keem as a primary example. As great as Hakeem is, Hakeem don't got a lot of fan base. He don't have a huge fan base. So because he don't have a huge fan base, it's not a bunch of fanatics out there throwing highlights.
So push him out
push him out there.
Or Tim Duncan.
Huh? Right. I'm saying highlights, videos, things of that nature. When certain players get a certain amount of fan base, especially the ones that are popular, flashy, whatever the case may be, you got them fanatics out there that's just going to find whatever they can to make they favorite player look like the greatest player of all time. Right. It's just a given. It's just a given matchup, and that's no fault to Hakeem or any other player that don't have the fans. It's just the nature of the beast. So in that aspect, I'm at this point in time, like you see that, you're going to expect that. But at the same time, with social media, I can also counter that by if I wanted to do that, start putting up a bunch of Hakeem stuff, bunch of Tim Duncan stuff, whatever player. You can counter that if you want to. Just people don't have the time to counter that because I ain't take that time to be on social media all that much.
But people gonna watch it.
Yeah, most people ain't gonna watch it. But also, that's how the narratives where they were saying Jordan ain't got no left.
Yeah, that was the dumbest narrative in history.
They picked about 10, 15 clips where Jordan was struggling to go left out of his whole 15-year career.
Right.
And then a narrative
wasn't true. Right. Which wasn't true.
The All-Star game. People act like the All-Star game was always competitive. It wasn't.
I feel like the last competitive All-Star game, like before that meeting in 2003 was the 0-1 one where AI and Marbury and them did that whole comeback.
The whole comeback.
Yeah, I think that might have been the last competitive All-Star game before that. No, the one with Bron and Kobe was going at, and Bron did that pass up the last shot.
Right, he could have did. That was a good one too.
He could have did.
He gave it up.
That was the last competitive.
No, the last one was the year Kobe died. Remember they did that new format, and that game came down to the wire. And Bron hit the game winner.
Before that, though,
I'm talking before we got that.
Between there,
I'm talking between after you saying the 2003.
Nah, you want to say the one that Jordan hit the shot when he retired?
That wasn't competitive. Nah, that wasn't.
Fourth quarter was.
Yeah, that was. That came down to the end.
Yeah,
until went to overtime.
I put it like this: it only became competitive because Kobe made it competitive. Because he didn't let Jordan win.
The ref called that foul.
The ref, right?
That's foul.
Right, but which was a fan. That's what they said. Nobody really believed he called that foul. But Kobe could have missed no free throws. He said, "No, I'm not missing no free throws. I'm going to make these free throws and make this game go to overtime." He could have missed the free throws and called it a game. But that's what I'm saying. So I don't really call that game competitive because they tried to give it to Jordan anyway. Like it was almost like a tailor-made for Jordan to hit that shot.
No, they did because they wouldn't have called that damn foul.
Huh?
They wouldn't have called that damn foul.
The game did it. I know, but I'm saying the ref, listen, I don't know what that ref was doing.
Yeah.
But
he shit got fired after that.
Right. I don't know what that ref was doing, but everybody else do the play.
Let Jordan go out.
Yeah, let Jordan go out with the All-Star game and last year. Yeah, we done. We out of here. Yeah. Russell called his foul. And Kobe's like, well, I'm here. I'm making these free throws. That changed the whole narrative of All-Star game.
Was he still around? Did Jordan make him disappear?
Who?
Jordan. Did he make that ref disappear?
I don't know. I don't even know what ref called that play.
But the debate shows carry it on. I think the debate shows and social media, they're synonymous in each other. Like they feed off each other.
Yeah, I'm about to say that.
They feed off each other. Because again, they talk about how LeBron ruined the dunk contest. But if you look at from when LeBron didn't do it until then, no stars was doing the dunk contest. Like it was less and less stars every year.
Why did he say,
like it wasn't like Stephen A. That's his main claim to fame. Like
but the LeBron ruined
the dunk contest.
He didn't ruin the dunk contest. It's all his fault.
No, he just thought he should have been in it.
No, he just should have been in it. He just should have been in it.
But stars stopped doing it. Like Ben stopped doing it, and even when other stars did it, that didn't make more people do it. Like when Vince did it, more people didn't keep doing it. Like so, who one person can't make people do? So who one person can't make? Everybody do it.
But who fault is that?
People looked up to Jordan. He did it. Why they ain't do it?
Well, Kobe said he did it because of Jordan.
But
right, but a lot of these kids looked up to Kobe. So when they do it, because Kobe did it,
do it, because Bron was the leader.
Right, so
everybody followed what LeBron did.
LeBron didn't ruin the dunk contest, but he should have been in one.
He should have been in one.
He should just at least did one.
But he's not the leader of people who don't look up to Bron. Remember, Bron didn't become a fan favorite. A lot of people wanted to beat him. They didn't want to team up with him because they wanted to beat him. Like we talking about early LeBron, they wanted to show he wasn't like that.
Yeah, the young that's the LeBron that should have been in the dunk contest.
Right, but that means all the other players that wanted to do it should have did it. Like they didn't care about Bron like that.
But to your point, what you just said, that's why that young LeBron should have did it because that young LeBron wasn't liked.
Right, and he probably wasn't wanted.
Right, like he wasn't liked. He wasn't as liked as he got older. Like you said, they wanted to beat him. So if he had gotten the dunk contest and won, somebody would have came on and said, you know what, I'm gonna do this just because I want to beat LeBron and make LeBron dunk contest look like this. He
didn't even have to do it no more after that.
Right, all he had to do was just do it once, and they feel like he might have put some life back into the dunk contest. That's all.
I don't know, bro. I feel like that's just a because then
it's a lazy assessment, but
because we had the dunk contest after he didn't even do it. But
nobody else was that. Nobody who after the era Gordon.
The best, that was the best dunk contest all time. You got the best dunk contest.
I'm saying after that. But I'm saying after that. But what was left?
Right.
That was left.
Right.
But we wouldn't. And truth be told, we didn't even expect that from them two.
Right.
I know. That was one of the best.
That might have been the best. Right. Because we didn't expect that from them two.
Zach LaVine.
Right. We didn't expect that.
That's what I'm saying. So LeBron not joining didn't prohibit you having good dunk contest.
You just suspected the best player. Usually the best player.
Just showcase one time.
Yeah,
if he's a dunker.
If
you're a best player, you're a dunker.
So you gotta be a dunker.
Yeah, you gotta be a dunker because there are times the centers were the best player. It don't make no sense for no centers.
That's your resume. That's all.
Yeah, you gotta be a high flyer. If you're a high flyer, they're coming out because let's be honest, the dunks that was being done in the games was crazy enough to where you could have did some of those in the dunk contest. So
I wouldn't expect him to do any tricks because he ain't that type of dunker.
Right, not that type of dunk. That's why he never do it. He first of all. That's one of those things where rapping comes into play.
He just had the power.
No, the brand was too big for him to lose. If he lost the dunk contest,
that's crazy.
To anybody, that brand would have been crazy.
And that's sad.
That would have took a major hit to his brand.
It wasn't even basically. Didn't Jordan lose one?
Yeah,
to Dominique, right? Or did Dominique?
You could lose to Dominique though. You could lose to Dominique though. He's literally marketed as a dunker. There was nobody else in the league that was marketed as LeBron's name as a dunker. That was an all-star. Nobody else was like that.
At that time, no.
Jason nobody like that.
Jason Richardson was still in the league, and so was Vince. Vince and Jason were still in the league at that time. They could have nicely.
But they weren't in it.
But
Vince wasn't in it. Vince only did it once.
I know that, but what I'm saying is they could have had a contest because Vince was still in the league and he was still a high-flying dunker at the time.
No, but I'm talking about when people started asking him to do it. You talking about 05, 06. When Brian just got in the league, nobody was asking him to do it. It was like 05, 06.
But Vince didn't get out. Vince was still in the
06 wasn't the high-flying Vince, though. That was like Nets Vince. He wasn't dunking like that.
He wasn't doing it. He wasn't high-flyer no more.
How about, what year did he dunk over the ball in the Olympics?
That's different.
That was like 04 though. That was like 04.
Yeah, that's not that.
You can get hype for one play.
That's not too that.
Yo, you can get hype for one play.
That's not that too far. Hold on, the photo that's not that too far removed.
Nets
Jesse Dicker.
He had that nasty dunk. He had that one morning one.
That dunk one morning.
He had back problems by then. He came a jump shooter. He had back problems.
I know, but
that's why a lot of people don't do it though. Really, in reality, a lot of guys say they don't do it because of their back.
I understand. I'm just
saying.
They
say it ruins your
back.
The
name of it would have carried it. I promise you. The name Vince Carter versus LeBron James.
Oh yeah, that would have been hype.
Yeah, that would have carried.
I put it like this.
That would have carried it.
Put it like this. Before Bron didn't do dunk contest, I don't even remember the All-Star game. He announced he was doing it.
Right.
Nobody, y'all didn't hear nobody say they was doing it too.
The following year.
Right. He said, "I'm preliminary putting myself in the dunk contest."
Yeah,
I didn't hear nobody else say.
Because he's sitting on the sideline watching it.
I didn't see Jason Richardson or Vince say.
Nobody said it people might want to see what he capable of doing before I put my name in there. I'm
But
not,
I think if he did, a lot of people would have jumped in.
I know,
just to try to beat him.
but be honest with you, if I see young LeBron James, or even somebody of his caliber about to do a dunk contest, I might be like, yeah, let me just see what this dude do if I put myself in a situation where I might get my behind handed to me.
But if he lose, especially somebody who, whatever, it would take a big brand hit because he's looked at as the
Young LeBron, I don't
most
think
athletic player to ever play the game.
Young LeBron might not have took a big hit. Now older LeBron,
Nah, I think young
I put it like this: Miami LeBron, if he did a dunk contest and lost, I think he'd take a bigger hit than Cleveland.
I don't
young
think they would
Cleveland
let him
LeBron.
lose unless somebody did something spectacular.
I don't know about that.
No, I don't know.
I don't know about
depends
that.
who.
I just think Miami.
I don't know. I don't think dunk contest really that rigged because some of the people that be winning, like I could see them winning. It was only the one I didn't like was the Nate Robinson joint where he missed 3-4.
Right.
Yeah, and
Iggy
it's still-
should have won
it-
that.
No,
That was
Iggy should've won that.
That was rigged.
And
That was rigged.
I ain't like that the Dwight Howard one either.
When he threw it,
Yeah,
from
I couldn't stand that. No, yeah,
I like the Blake one when he jumped over the front hood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So exactly.
And
but
some
it
of
is
them
what it is, man.
It is what it is, but